Movies on the radio, and it sounds weird. All right, hold on. Aha! Figuring this stuff out. Anyway, I'm Brandon Johnson. This is Movies on the Radio, right here on KBYG, AM and FM. My headphones are jacking with me. Sorry, we've been on there in 3 weeks. Anyway, James Fite's here in studio with me this evening.
And is my mic working?
Yes, your mic is working. Turn our mics up a little bit. Maybe wow, we got all this new technology in here, and it's kind of crazy.
This is new 1970s technology.
Yes.
Hey, there's no duct tape.
Mikey, we got Mikey over here in the corner.
I'll leave for a month and a half, and y'all get all fancy on me.
Sorry. Well, anyway, KBYG's looking nice up in here. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I've been trying to get this guy in the studio for about 2 years, and we finally got it done. But this guy is an inspiration for us all because he's making films in West Texas and he's getting her done. Billy Pon, welcome to the studio.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me out.
Get up on that mic.
Get up on it. Put it up on my lips.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, how's that?
There you go. Okay, all right, I changed my... Whew. Sorry, these headphones are jacking with me big time. Anyway, folks, we're going to get into some talking with Billy. We got all kinds of things we're going to ask Billy. He's got a film, Circus of the Dead, that he shot in Odessa, Texas last summer.
It was actually August and September.
Yeah.
Half of August and most of September.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what, 2 months, 3 months?
Month and a half.
Month and a half shoot.
And a day job.
And you did your day job at the same time?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was nights we'd go to bed about 5 or 6 in the morning and wake back up and go to my day job at 8.
Really?
Shoot all night, yeah.
So what do you like, whenever you don't have anything going on, do you just like sleep for days so you can catch up?
I wish I could. I always tell everybody I'm going to, but my mind doesn't ever turn off, so it's like I'm always working on something or writing something new or, figuring something else, how to conquer the world, so to speak.
Cool. Okay, well, real quick, before we get into all this, I came up with a lot of good questions.
There's some good questions on there.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself. Anyway, folks, coming up August 2nd, we are going to try to do Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade again up on top of Scenic Mountain. We'll be up there. We'll be doing our own concessions. You can come up and have a Frito pie and a Coke and watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. August 2nd.
And nachos.
And nachos and pickles.
Lots of pickles.
Lots of pickles. Everyone loves pickles.
Yes.
No candy, though. Lose your money on pickles there. Anyway, we got that coming up August 2nd. Do we have anything else coming up? I hope everybody's enjoyed. We've had some interesting music shows over the past couple of weeks. Mr. Fite was out of town, so we didn't have any extra brain shows. Had the music from Dawn of the Apes, which you saw Dawn of the Apes.
I did.
And what's your opinion so far still?
It's good. It's a good lead up to what I'm hoping the third one's going to be. The Rise of the Planet Apes, I think I liked it better because it had more of a story arc to it.
Yeah.
But what's neat about this one is Caesar is the main character.
Right, through the whole thing, yeah. See, I heard like whenever they were concepting this, where the guy, Matt Reeves, that directed the film, he's also the guy who did Cloverfield, did a lot of Lost with J.J. Abrams, that guy. He said, I think we should do this, but I want Caesar to be the main character. And I think they rewrote it. And
the main person that wanted to see it in my household was my 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And she's a big fan. She likes the 60s, Planet of the Apes. And she's a big fan. But the thing about this one is half the movie is in subtitles because the apes communicate with sign language.
Right.
So through half the movie I was leaning over, whispering what they're saying. Because she can read, but not fast enough to read 2 lines of dialogue before it goes away.
Right. 4 seconds I give you.
But if Andy Serkis didn't get an Academy Award nomination for Gollum, he should for this.
See, they're saying that. They're saying that could happen. This will be like the first motion capture performance that should be nominated for an Oscar. I don't think it's going to happen.
Probably not. I think Gollum and the Two Towers.
Well, that is the Academy's too snooty. I just don't think they'll I just don't think they'll do that. They're like, that's not a performance.
It is. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. I mean,
well, just because you're digitized out doesn't mean you're not in it.
Is your mic down?
It's probably not. Check.
It was dead air. A second ago.
I thought it was.
I don't know.
Mikey is not here tonight.
I'm not here.
Nope, you're not here. We'll mess with that here.
I'm screaming.
Anyway, folks. Okay, so that's the big movie that's out right now. They're December box.
Huh? Snowpiercer's the big
movie. Yeah, that's the other one that you saw.
What was that? I saw you.
That is the best movie I've seen all year, and unfortunately, it's barely gotten a release in the U.S. and it came out a year ago overseas.
I never heard of it.
Same director that did The Host, not the Stephanie Meyer's Host, The Good Host.
The Good Host.
The Korean movie about the giant tentacle monster. It's a Korean movie with almost entire American cast. It's got Chris Evans in it. About a train where they used to. It's a sci-fi movie about how they were trying to stop global warming by cooling down the atmosphere with a chemical, and they accidentally freeze the planet.
Oh.
And the only survivors. There you are.
I'm here.
The only survivors are on this super train that just travels around the entire globe on
It's like the Titanic. Like the rich people are in the front, poor people in the back, and they got to fight their way to
It's a combined Titanic with Under Siege 2.
Under Siege 2.
Yeah. And but great movie. It's a little bit of Hunger Games style.
Yeah.
Amanda loved it.
Yeah.
And she hates sci-fi.
Yeah.
She really liked that movie.
Well, they're saying right now the box office from this summer is not real pretty. Not big numbers at all. But next summer and then Christmas of 2015 ought to make up for all that. So.
Get better.
Yeah, we got all this next summer, lots of franchises. Okay, well, Billy, let's get into this. I want to talk to you a little bit about some different kinds of things. We get filmmakers in here every once in a while, and when we do, we like to kind of grill them because a lot of our audience, we like to kind of push to everybody, how to get into it, what it takes, and a lot of it is just get off your butt and do it. I mean, you can film a movie with an iPhone right now if you want to.
You're right. Found footage is really popular right now.
Yeah. What's the first film what's the first movie you can remember? Like, is it when you were younger? First film memory that comes to mind.
I remember being at a drive-in seeing a Bruce Lee movie or something.
What was it?
Some kind of Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on which one it was or something. My dad took me to go see it up in Dallas at the Apollo Drive-In.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
So were you a big fan of Bruce Lee films?
Oh yeah. I'm like half Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Below the waist. And yeah. So, but yeah, he's just always Chinese this, Chinese that, Chinese this. So yeah, of course I was all into the Bruce Lee big time.
Oh,
Bruce Lee, Jimi Hendrix.
Cool. So what was some of your favorite films from childhood? Bruce Lee?
Yeah, of course that stuff. I guess from childhood is definitely like Jaws. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my favorite horror movie of all time. Star Wars made me want to make movies. As a kid. Poltergeist. I'm into the old Halloween was really good.
John Carpenter stuff.
Yeah. So if you really look at it, I guess it's mostly old stuff. Road Warrior.
See, that's kind of where we are. We're all kind of stuck back there.
We're grumpy old men.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say that as I try to do that is that's why I feel like Circus of the Dead is a little bit, it's very rooted in the past.
Yeah.
If you give it the time and put the technology down long enough, because it's kind of hard when people are watching things at home now to give it attention. But give it attention, get into it, and you're gonna like it like that old stuff. I really think.
Okay, now Circus of the Dead is the film right now that's pretty much on the festival circuit, from what I can tell.
I've turned a lot of them down, but now I'm starting to take them because now it's I kind of got a cut I really like on it now, and I'm starting to send.
How many cuts have you done so far?
This is the third one.
How long is it now?
It is 149. Yeah.
Wow.
But after credits, so there's a good 6-minute scene. So technically up to credits.
So kind of like the Avenger, the Marvel movies. You got to sit down and wait till the end.
I like to do that kind of stuff too. Just for the people that do.
Yeah.
And there's a really good end of credit song that's really good.
Yeah.
So I didn't give you that one to play, but probably one of the best songs I've ever heard.
Yeah, you probably can't play that one.
No, by the Beaumonts, right?
Well, we'll talk a little bit more. Family show. We'll talk a little bit more about Circus of the Dead. We want to talk about your childhood.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to do some psychoanalyzing here. Did you start making? When did you start making movies? Were you making films when you were young? Or
no, I was like choreographing fights. When I was a kid, I wanted to be like in the Six Flags gunfighting thing.
stunt guy.
Yeah. So we started choreographing things like that, and then I'd even take my Star Wars toys and put them on the clothesline, put little eyelets on it and stuff, so I could slide them down and chase it with a TIE fighter and stuff like that. So yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to make Star Wars movies. So
yeah.
Hey, let's hope.
Maybe you will.
Well, I'd love to do Death Troopers.
Yeah.
You know that. So
yeah, the novel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
It's a Star Wars novel. Kind of a horror.
Zombie Star Wars. Yeah.
Zombie Star Wars?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was zombie Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
And it was licensed by Lucas too, so
yeah. I remember seeing it when it first came out, hardback cover. I was like, I want to buy that just for
the Star Wars franchise is going to be around till we're dead and gone. So maybe if you keep on going with your career like this, maybe you'll get a shot.
Can you imagine?
Well, can you imagine? I mean, those guys that are going to direct those new those spin-offs, they're kids.
Yeah, well, one of them did he did Godzilla, but before that he just did one indie movie.
Monsters.
Monsters.
And that was a great movie
Yeah.
That he did for like nothing.
I don't think they would pick me for Star Wars after seeing my first movie, though. I think that.
I think Disney might be a little afraid.
They'd be a
little
little scared, yeah.
Maybe if Guillermo del Toro got behind you, maybe.
Yeah.
Gotta get in the side door there on that one.
I thought you were gonna say back door.
No.
First film director that was an inspiration to you. First film director.
Probably Lucas.
Really?
Yeah.
Spielberg?
Yeah, too. Same thing with Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that. Just Star Wars Raiders of the Lost Ark, it just kind of captured my imagination.
If you don't mind me asking?
I'm 44 now. I was born in 1970.
So we're all about that same 70s.
Nerds.
Yeah. See, I was born the year Star Wars came out. The only Star Wars I saw in the theater was Return of the Jedi, and that was in '83.
Well, I come to the first one late. I was a kid. I had an uncle who was a teenager. And my mom let me go with him to the movies. He'd go and try to talk to girls and stuff like that. But but I just went and watched, Star Wars 3 or 4 times. Just sitting, sitting in the theater, that Beastmaster, all that kind of stuff.
Beastmaster, that's another. I love Beastmaster. That's one of the first ones that my mom actually let me watch. But then she actually sat down and watched the whole thing with me. I think she felt bad for letting me watch it when I was like 5.
I think they had nudity in it.
It did. It was the first naked girl I ever saw on a movie. It was on a waterfall scene.
I haven't seen one yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh well. Sorry.
No, actually, we had some in the movie, I think.
Oh, so that's why you're making movies.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was like, okay, this is a gory slasher movie. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lucas, Spielberg, some of those guys. Those are some of the okay.
Now it'd be more Tarantino. I just love Tarantino.
Well, I can tell Tarantino just from your trailers. I mean, I
Yeah.
can tell kind of the influence there, which I'm a big Tarantino fan myself.
But also the dialogue in Circus of the Dead. I watched it with Frank because Amanda was watching TV and stuff, so I went over to Frank and said, hey, we can watch this, we just can't let anyone else watch it. And we were like, this has got some really clever dialogue.
Well, we cut a lot of it out.
Did you?
For time, yeah, a lot of the dialogue and kept most of the action, but maybe the director's cut it out. There's a really good diner scene that was kind of referring to a really cool Conway Twitty story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't go into details, but it's a really good story. I run into an old guy a long time ago at a pawn shop that told me the story about him meeting Conway Twitty, and Conway Twitty trying to hit on his, someday to be wife, and he got mad and punched him, and he said Conway Twitty, didn't do nothing. He was just a wuss and laid on the ground bleeding on his boot. So I took this story that this guy told me and did a big old long dialogue. I mean, yeah, it was a wonderful thing, but we had to just cut it for time, unfortunately.
So
definitely director's cut material.
The actor Bill, what's his name?
Bill Oberst Jr.
Yeah, I like him in other things too. And once I realized who it was, I was like, dude, that's Abraham Lincoln.
That's it, yeah.
And he's like, Frank was like, Abraham Lincoln. I like Abraham Lincoln versus zombies, not vampires. He's like, what? I was like, he's a better Abraham Lincoln than that one was.
Oh yeah. And he's a real short guy in real life. But what happened is, I guess the guy they had playing Abraham Lincoln, something happened and they had to get rid of him. So they got Bill Oberst Jr. like within a week. This is a story he was telling me. Yeah. So he only had like a week to prepare for that. And he's just kind of thrown in there and stuff like that. But I'm saying, Bill Oberst Jr. I had a lot of great actors and stuff like that. But Popcorn, Bill Oberst Jr. is, I don't know if I could ever get better than that.
He gave Tim Curry a run for his money.
I would say that.
I think he was better than Tim Curry in It. I don't like It, but Tim Curry's great.
Tim Curry's performance.
Tim Curry is
amazing.
amazing.
The same performance as it was a legend.
This psychotic clown is at the top that I've seen performance-wise.
Wow.
Yeah, he brought it. You'll see when you watch it. And that's what I said is my big thing now is you got to get rid of the technology.
Technology,
put it down.
It's totally
no,
distracting.
just watch it. Yeah, from everything.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there, my wife's like that. We'll be sitting there watching something,
and
I'm like, oh, she's scrolling over there. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I can watch stuff and do my phone at the same time. I was like, no, you can't. That doesn't work.
What just happened?
Right.
Why is he going with that? Well, if you would have been watching instead of Facebooking, you know what happened.
Well, you know, then what happens too is she goes, that wasn't a very good movie.
Yeah.
Were you even in the room?
Were you even watching?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, get in and get locked into it, and I promise it'll be a payoff.
Well, I've got a birthday coming up. I may just lock down and watch that because I'll have to hide my wife. I think she gets scared.
Well, y'all need to come out and do the local premiere when we do that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do a double feature, Dog Boy Circus of the Dead.
Cool. At Water Wonderland, right?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Anyway, next question. You know, you're talking about dialogue, and this works out going into our next question. How do you write? When do you write? Where do you write?
I guess at first I just kind of start thinking of really good ideas, and once I just do like a little sentence or something into my phone. You know, just type it in the notepad. And when I start looking for ideas to sit down at, when I get home, I'll pull out my laptop and put in, turn on Final Draft and just say the title, and then I'll just write a little paragraph from what notes I have. Right. And sometimes it goes further, and sometimes it just stops there. But I've got like 30 or 40 things in there. 5 or 6 are really good.
So a lot of them probably, I mean, you could be driving down the road and all of a sudden a great idea hits you and you can pull over, hit record, and put a note in there, and then that way at the end of the day when you sit down, if you're writing, I guess, and then use that.
You pull from it, yeah. Well, I'm a guitar player too, and if I come up with a good lick or something, or even hum a song, I'll hum it, in the voice memos, and then later on record it onto a regular thing just to be on the safe side. But that like paid off because it's always in your thought process first. Is I went to a friend's wedding dinner. And he's Hispanic, so I always make fun of him for being Mexican or whatever. And he had like a Mexican themed thing, so he had like for all his groomsmen, he had a bag and he had like a lucha mask in it with our names on it. And then he had some tequila and some chicharrones and chiclets and all this kind of stuff. And then he had these little things that I thought were tarot cards. And I go, hey, what are these? And he put in mine El Diablito, which is Little Devil, and La Muerte, which is the death card. And I said, hey, what are these, like tarot cards? And he goes, no, it's a kid's bingo game, dummy. And I go, why is there like a devil on it? Anyway, that's what made the whole Circus of the Dead movie. That's what Circus of the Dead is about. It's about the Loteria cards.
Really? So that's where it all, wow.
Come there. Well, I knew I was going to do a clown movie. I just looked for a good story.
Well, clowns are terrifying.
Well, and they're usually cheesy and, pretty goofy movies. And I always want like a challenge. I just don't want to do something for the sake of doing it. I want to take something that everybody else has kind of failed on and expand on that a little bit. I wanted something opposite than a cheesy clown movie.
Well, your clowns don't look like the killer clowns from outer space.
No,
so you're
and I love that kind of stuff. And I love, cheesy movies and stuff like that too. But on this, it just happened, they just happen to be clowns. They're just killers who just happen to, their day jobs are clowns, what I mean? And that's what it is. It's kind of secondary.
Yeah. Well, so whenever you're writing these things, do you stay up all night writing? Or
sometimes I do. It's like when inspiration hits, it hits. You know what I mean? And you just got to see it through. It might take you 2 days. It might take you 10 minutes.
So that's why whenever you're driving down the road or walking through, like you work for CBS 7,
right?
If you're walking through and all of a sudden you hear somebody talking that sets you right, grab your phone, write it out, and then when you finally get home at night to sit down.
Yeah, and you get a good story. I just say you got a kind of a good idea for something, and then you really need the ending. So a lot of times I like to come up with the ending first, and then I'll kind of go backwards. To me, the beginning is the easiest part. I mean, I don't know what it is about the beginning, but they're always easy to start a movie. Every movie can have a cool start. Like in Dollboy, we had the van,
right,
with the little kid screaming, and then the leather face where he slams the van door, that kind of stuff, and the little kid scream. But the beginnings are easy if you can find a good end, because that's where most horror movies mess up, is the ending. So, did you like the ending on it, James?
Yeah, it was very Frank Darabont.
All right, yeah.
I was sitting there going, this is something that he would pull out of a Stephen King book almost.
Well, I'm just a dark, mean, and bitter person in life.
Really? It just doesn't seem like that to me.
It's funny because it's like, well, you know what I take it as? It's like those blues musicians, you know what I mean? It's like you had to just call it from someplace. It's just I got to call it. That's what I tell people is my movies is my art. That's, you can go see moving pictures, but that's my art. I just gave you a 2-hour piece of art, you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's what it is. That's the best way I can get my art out right now.
That's cool, man.
My sadness, my fears, my worries, my laughs, my humor, it all goes out in there.
It's got a lot of really dark humor in that movie. Like I caught myself laughing at stuff. I'm like, man, if someone saw me laughing at this, they think I was messed up.
And that's the point.
But this is meant to be laughed at. I know this is a humor part, as disturbing as it is. Just some of the things going on.
No, he nailed it right on the head, because that's the whole point. Is you start laughing and you go, wow, am I really laughing at this? That's not right. Well, I got to question myself. Yeah.
Well, what I can remember, the first movie I remember watching that way, where I kind of giggled at things that my 17-year-old self was kind of like, wait a minute, am I supposed to be laughing at this? It's the first time I saw Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, that whole scene with Marvin in the back seat. You shot Marvin in the head. What? I mean, it's sick. It's disgusting. But at the same time, the way that Tarantino staged it, it's very dark comedy.
I was thinking you were talking about the basement.
The basement scene, yeah, I hadn't seen anything like that. I had not seen anything like that on video when I was 17. Excuse me, not on video, in a movie theater. And yeah, the basement scene.
Yeah, you're all like, you just start laughing. It's like, this is horrible. What's happening here? But
well, that's, I don't know.
Human Centipede. There's places
on
that. You haven't seen it, but there's
places. But you should. I haven't seen part 2, but part 1 is actually a really good movie.
Part 1 is nothing what people think. It's not graphic. Part 2 is what people
That's the one with the barbed wire. I just know barbed wire from the second one. That's all I've heard. Barbed wire.
You know why I watched that first one is I met Dieter Laser, the guy that played the scientist or the doctor, and the director and some of the actresses. But that director and Dieter Laser was like two of the nicest people I've ever met. Ever at a horror convention.
Yeah, that's a great performance as a mad scientist.
But he's the most wonderful person you'll ever meet. Him and the tall man from Phantasm, Angus Grimm.
Yeah.
Like the nicest people you ever meet. And it's like, they were so nice to me, I said, I'm going to go buy that movie and give it a shot. And I did, and it was really nice. It was a really good movie. It's kind of just an old school movie if you think about it. Kind of Hitchcock a little bit.
See, what's weird is, you say you haven't seen the second one. The second one, it's completely different. The first one, and now he's got the third one coming out, and I'm just wondering, what are you going to do in this third one that's going to be different than those other two?
See, but it's to be a filmmaker is hard, you guys, because it's like I did that the Mr. Fister trailer.
Yeah, that was kind of like
and everybody wants a movie. Yeah,
thing, right?
But what they don't realize is I'm going to do something totally crazy, but and even James was talking how crazy Circus is. But it's still a good movie. I don't do shock for shock's sake. I'll do shock for humor's sake, but not for shock.
So basically what you're saying is you're not trying to push the envelope so far and just gross everybody out so bad. That's just part of the story. That's part of the humor to it and all that kind of stuff.
That's what I think you did with putting that little bit of humor in these really dark situations. You need that laugh to break you out of this horrific thing going on, but yet you're still into it.
Yeah.
Well, movie to me is it needs to be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You need your heart pounding a little bit. You need your ups. You need your downs. But overall, you need to, when you get off of it and leave, you need to say, hey, I went and had a good time on that one.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to
see. I like roller coaster ride movies like that. Like the last one I really remember seeing that was like a ride was that Gravity last year, and which a lot of people complained about some things about it or whatever. But when I saw it in the 3D, we were in a theater by ourselves.
Yeah, we went.
Yeah,
we got a screening.
Yeah, they did a special screening for us, and that was a ride.
I haven't seen that yet.
Woo,
people make fun of me, but I just now gotten back into catching
well,
when
you're making movies, you don't have time to watch movies.
And I didn't want the influence, to be honest, yet either. So I mean, I've ventured out for a couple of things, but I tried my best to avoid that stuff. Well, like I caught The Purge recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And I also saw
first one or the newer one?
The old one.
The old one.
First one, yeah. Then I seen another horror movie the other night. Was called what was it about the guy that was the rider in the house and
Sinister.
Sinister, yeah, and that was okay.
Yeah, what do you think of Sinister? That freaked me out.
I call it like a flatline. It was okay. It was good.
It was okay.
It wasn't so bad it made me angry or nothing.
It made me angry. I thought it was scary.
Insidious and The Conjuring.
I've heard good stuff about The Conjuring for sure. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And they got a new one coming out. It's either a prequel or a sequel
Annabelle.
to the.
Annabelle. It's about the doll.
Yeah.
Well, I'm real big on paranormal stuff, which I've been that way since Ghostbusters in '84, which that wasn't a scary paranormal film, but that's the movie that turned me on to ghosts and the supernatural.
Well,
and
James Wan, who did The Conjuring, and he did the first Saw.
Yeah.
First Saw was a great film.
And he did, what is it, Speak No Evil?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got it down. He makes these horror movies for like just a few $1 million.
And they make 67, or actually 100 million. We'll
yeah.
Say. Yeah.
I mean, you're good.
I've been doing research on what people are making and stuff, so that way I know.
Yeah, what's weird is him doing the new Fast and Furious.
What's that all about?
How are they getting finished?
That's about money.
I think Paul Walker's going to be a ghost in it now.
Oh, really? Cool. Maybe Dan Aykroyd should be in. Should bust him.
Harold Ramis.
Anything you do differently since you started this film career?
Yeah, I feel a lot differently. I would have started earlier.
When did you really kick things? I mean, when did you like get up and say, "I want to do this"?
Was 2009.
Okay,
we
so how old were you then?
39.
39.
Yeah.
Was it because 40 was coming? It was like, I better do something or before I turn 40?
I guess it just took that long. You just got to be careful sometimes because just daily life will eat you up.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you blink your eyes.
It's happened to me every day.
Now, I just go 100 miles an hour. Now I got to get done as much as I can get done now. But back then, I guess I just worried about working and doing a good job at work.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
so then you're like, okay, I got to do something more than just doing this good job at work. I want to do something more than this.
I want to leave a mark. Yeah, I want to leave a mark and do it because I just see, I mean, you guys are talking about movies you saw at the theaters. I do a lot of watching of movies that don't ever make it to the theaters, like indie horror. You know what I mean? And that stuff is 95% bad.
Yeah.
I mean 95%.
But you're trying to make
bad,
better independent horror films.
Yeah. As because mainstream bore you to death. Like that Purge and stuff like that. I thought that's a crazy idea. It could have been better. So to speak. So. And even that new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or was it Texas Chainsaw 3D?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It's just sad that it's just,
that's just cash cow people.
And that's what I mean, yeah. So it's like, what I want to do is bring something original, fun, and different. Cool. And make you think when it's done. James, he probably thought about it all day today. It's like, was that clown doing that? Did that clown do that?
He told me some things at about 6:15 this morning via text message that I was kind of like, ooh. But like I said, I'm just a big chicken.
So there's a lot of people like just begging, saying, "Hey, I'll give you my kid if you let me watch that and stuff." So I keep it pretty closely guarded right now.
Well, it's your baby, man. It's your baby. I mean,
you didn't respond to my text last night.
I was asleep.
I was
done.
I tell you, okay, I'm about to watch it, and you were like, "Careful." I wrote back to him. I was like, "We're friends with the manager at the theater." I was like, "Don't worry, Kevin. Let us hook it up on the projector. We only charge half price." We're not supposed to.
Because I didn't text him whenever I called him and said, "Look, here's the deal. We're gonna get to see this thing, but it's top." Okay.
Well, you didn't write back. I was like, I wonder if
you. Yeah, so top secret they didn't tell me about it.
Well, you could torrent like that one.
It wasn't until like late last night that I started watching it.
My Blu-ray dubs is what I guard because that's like pretty high quality. That one there is if you try to stretch that to a DVD.
So people have been stealing your movie?
Well, no, it just happens in indie
horror. It's always on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, I put it on there. I've turned down deals for that because they wanted to put it with like compilations with other shorts, horror shorts and stuff, and I wouldn't have no control over that, so I didn't want to be a part of that.
I don't blame you.
It's more important than me on that, and hopefully we'll do the feature soon. So.
And Dollboy's gonna be a feature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's interesting. Cheers. We're gonna take a break here in a minute and get a drink of water. Real quick, not real quick. Tell me about your crew, your cinematographers, editors, gaffers, score composers, special effects. Where do you find these people in Odessa, Texas? Are they lifelong friends? Do you find them in the personals? I mean, where do you find these people?
Most are friends, and I've since I worked in TV, I kind of met and made a lot of friends and stuff. But I'm really smart about when I meet somebody, and if they have some kind of unique talent or something or ability, that I'll keep it in the back of my head. So the cinematographer was Gabe Ramirez, who's like probably the best still photographer I know. And he told me, he goes, "Hey, I like Dollboy, but we need to, you need to let me do it next time, and we'll, get a real camera and all this kind of stuff, and real lenses and stuff like that, and do it." And then we found a camera operator out of Dallas, Anthony Gutierrez, who was, he was like a warrior. He worked hard. He had that Steadicam strapped to him day and night.
Yeah, well, filmmaking movies is hard.
Yeah, it's hard. So
it was the hardest work. The movie that I produced, that I was in the middle of, was the hardest thing I've ever done.
It is.
It almost killed me.
I did appreciate the lack of shaky cam.
Yeah. And there's not much first person and no hidden footage. And
that's one thing that drives me nuts, shaky cam in a movie. I'm like, I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah, when we went and saw Man of Steel, he was all upset about it because there was too much Man of Steel shaky cam.
I like Zack Snyder. He kind of just misses the mark sometimes. I thought Watchmen was really good.
That's the only one out of his stuff I really like.
I'm one of the few that likes Sucker Punch.
See,
you can take Sucker Punch, turn everything off, just leave the visual on and crank up some Zeppelin.
Hey, that's a good idea.
That's like a really cool, I'm just saying it's like a really cool, you probably should find a Pink Floyd album or something, probably really neat too.
You can do that with Armageddon also. There's not a shot in that movie that's longer than 5 seconds.
What about, so you're cinematographer, okay, what did you shoot this thing on? What did you shoot Circus of the Dead on?
We shot it on a Canon C300 with the 3 Zeiss lenses.
Okay, so that's all.
Yeah, the body of the camera is 15,000, and each lens was 5,000. So we got just 30,000 just in that, before the tripod, before sound, or before anything.
Did you rent all this stuff, or did y'all buy it?
No, we bought it.
So now you've got your own, and it's what, high definition?
Yeah, everything basic's high def now.
Okay.
Probably these cameras are high def too. Yeah, so you can do high def. But what's cool about this is in the aperture and stuff like that, and your iris and stuff, is like in Dollboy it looked really dark in places because I use like the production camera from CBS7.
Yeah.
But with this one, it's like if you're in there and if you're in where Dollboy was filmed, you've seen it. It actually, you can see things pretty good, but the film doesn't pick it up that way. Now, I could gain up or something and to make it kind of grainy, but I didn't want to do that. But this nice camera is it allows more light into that, so therefore you see more detail in the dark.
So did you use like some filters and stuff to make it? Were you going for any kind of a grainy look with the thing at all? Or were you just trying to?
Yeah, I think Gabe had that in mind to do that. He wanted an old school something from the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't grindhouse it totally, but it's still, it's still Jaws and that kind of stuff.
Well, the opening sequence, whatever, had a lot of kind of.
Throughout that movie, the cinematography was really good. It had some good lighting, good color.
Yeah, we did all that ourselves too, me and Gabe.
I mean, there were some scenes in there that it looked like a $30 million movie. The lighting was that good.
480.
Now, did you have a gaffer?
Gabe kind of did both of those. Yeah.
What was your budget? Do you want to tell us what?
Yeah, 180. Well, the budget was 125, but we went to 180.
So 180,000. Yeah. That's $180,000 horror film.
Right.
That's not bad.
No, I mean it seems like a lot now thinking about it because I wish I had it now, but
yeah,
now that it's gone.
Man,
but
I just spent that much money.
Yeah, and I got like this link, see, so that's about that's a lot of money to save up to get to that. So.
Well, what? Here, I'll go back to my list of questions. I want to talk for a minute. We're gonna take a little break so I can drink of water. What's next for Circus of the Dead? I mean, are you going to try? Has anyone approached you to release it? I mean, what are you going to do with it?
Well, that's what's funny about that is because now I'm in uncharted territory.
Yeah. I mean, this is a feature film. Dollboy is just a short.
Will it end up in theaters? I mean, yeah, it's a pipe dream. I think it'd be more straight to a video kind of thing.
Yeah.
And do a big VOD release.
So
and all that kind of stuff.
See what I'm saying? That's where the money's at. It's VOD.
Well, yeah, it's even better though if you get to the theaters first and then let it trickle down to that. Then it's even more money. That's like those movies you are talking about. If you look at all of them, they've all hit roughly 100 million.
Yeah.
So I think I'd be lucky to get to 15, 20 million. And that would still be pretty good if you think about the investment.
Well, for $180,000, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
But our goal was to make a better looking movie than what we did, and I think we knocked it out of the park as far as that's concerned.
You're really happy with it. So I can see there was one guy we interviewed, Hart Fisher, a few months ago, and he's got like a whole horror channel where that's like all they do is do
it's
stuff like
24-hour horror channel, but it's online.
Yeah, have you ever seen any of that?
What's it called?
American Horrors.
Yeah,
I think I have that. Yeah, American Horrors.
Yeah, that's it.
Horrors.
Horrors, yes.
Yeah. No, I haven't been on that
one.
Not the other.
But yeah, Hart Fisher. I mean, he's done those graphic novels of what was it, Ed Gein or not Ed Gein?
No, it was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
He did graphic novels on Jeffrey Dahmer.
His name sounds familiar though. I want to say I've seen him on Facebook before.
He's like I advertised a lot when we were interviewing him, and he does a lot of spoken word poetry, stuff like that.
Yeah,
he's a very intense individual.
He's acted in movies. He's directed some movies. He did what was the name of that movie?
Garbage Man.
Garbage Man was the movie he did, his first one, and he's got a radio show that he does all the time now. But he's been on like Larry King and stuff, defending his comic books because they were really controversial and they were trying to get them taken down because they thought he was like glorifying Jeffrey Dahmer. He was like, no, I was showing exactly what they did.
A lot of the influence from this, of course, come from I guess John Wayne Gacy, actually.
Yeah,
I read a lot of
the
serial
little
killer
quote
stuff.
you
The quote
had.
right off the
Yeah,
top. Yeah,
I saw the quote right there at the beginning of the film.
I had a friend bought me a book that's like, I think it's called 99 People You Won't Meet in Heaven. You know, it's like one of those books you sit next to your toilet. When you read it every once in a while. And I remember reading that quote before I did this movie, and I go, you know, Tarantino would put a cool quote at the first of his movie. So that's where that comes from.
Yeah, that was a cool quote. I thought it was a good way to kick things off.
So somebody posted on my Facebook, you know, when I started the movie thing, and of course I was already in the movie. He's like, "Hey Billy, you should do this." Yeah, so now they think, yeah. So it's like that's what always happens, you know. Somebody gives you, or they tell you about a cool shooting location. I go, "Yeah, I've already been working on that for 3 weeks." So, I told them about yeah, that's what's bad about that, because that's where it gets bad, you guys, is because you'd be really surprised the red tape and stuff that goes into making a movie. You know, you go, "Hey, we're going to make a movie," right? And then you go, "Okay, it's distribution." They go, "Well, where's all your deliverables? You know, do you have all the rights to the music?" It's like, there's so much paperwork. We got 2 gigantic books, and you can't see it on radio, so that's why I say it's probably about these 12-inch books, these binders. We got 2 of them filled with like releases and contracts and paperwork and stuff like that. So just
releases on like what?
For like just even like somebody in the diner scene, like those,
right?
those
Yes,
actors
they sign a release.
Sign a release
right.
saying, you know, they did it and they didn't.
So did you walk into some of these restaurants and say, "Hey, we're going to shoot this scene right here. Do you mind?"
I'm a good talker to people, and with the Doll Boy, it kind of opened up a lot of doors. Then a lot of people approached me and said, "Hey, I got this. If you ever need something," and I remember some of those things. Yeah. The convenience store scene, the T-Wood grocery store, we had a shootout in there, and it was smash a guy's head and all kinds of stuff in there, and
lots of fake cigarettes.
Yeah, we covered the whole store with like fake product.
Yeah, see, I saw some of that. Yeah. So I mean, and I know somebody else that likes to do some of that kind of stuff. But I mean, I noticed you had like your own product, like your own beer.
Yeah. Like we had all kinds of fake beers, and you guys being film buffs, you might like some of it. But of course, I had like DEF CON, Zombie Hunter Ale, and DEF CON Light. Hell of the Dead. And then there was like J. Winfield malt liquor. You with me on that? You got that one? And then there was Vega Amsterdam Lager. Nice. And Vega Amsterdam Red Light. You get it?
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
And then we had one called what do you call a nod to Hendrix? We had like House Red.
Purple Haze.
And Hazy Purple. Is what it's called, yeah. Because we didn't want to get sued, yeah.
So have you got a friend?
But you know what you missed though? Is y'all missed it in there for the Coke? We had Mr. Fizzer.
Instead of Mr. Fisherman.
Yeah, Mr. Fizzer, and it said it deeply satisfies.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go on to the next. Who makes all these like fake beers and stuff? You got a friend over there who can do all that kind of stuff?
Well, actually, the guy that does all my art is John Mata, and he does all my posters and stuff. But he stays pretty busy too. But the guy who played Mr. Blister, the clown, the smoking clown, everybody loves. He also plays Mr. Fister. You see how I rhyme it? I'm like as smart as Dr. Seuss. Anyway, he's a graphic designer too during the day. So I told him what I wanted, and he threw those together, and then we printed them all out. And one night we filled up beer bottles and put stickers and lids on them and all kinds of stuff, and did that.
Oh man, a lot of work.
A lot of crew. And I tell everybody, and they think I'm kind of kissing butt all the time, but I could have done it without the crew. Could have done it without all the actors.
You can't make a film without a crew.
If everybody didn't put as much as they did into it, we wouldn't have what we have.
No, that's the whole thing. And with an independent film, everybody's either working for scale or just volunteering.
Everybody that was local was working volunteering. Yeah. And that says a lot. But you know what? When this takes off, you know, some of them have some really good jobs.
Say, did you sign whenever the people that did work on it, did y'all do a kind of deal where like, okay,
I even signed.
Okay.
Everybody signed. I even signed. Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's so much paperwork for paperwork.
Like, so you have to sign. So basically, what it says is, if the film makes money, then we'll pay you something. Or
no. It's basically it's saying that if the film makes money, you work for free and you don't expect anything.
Right.
Huh. Because you just got to kind of cover yourself there. Yeah. It's all fun and games until something makes money, and then you find out who your friends are.
That's when you find out who your friends are.
Now you talk about like indie filmmakers and people want to get their start in making films. My first piece of advice is get an entertainment lawyer.
Did you get one?
Yep.
Is there one in Midland?
No, I mean there might be, but I got one out of Dallas. I met at a horror convention, Brian Landa, and he'll tell me real quick. He's a lawyer now. Now Billy, you don't need to do this. So I get that a lot at the beginning, but like Mr. Blister was supposed to be called Zippo. Yeah. Because he smokes. Yeah, but at the last minute we needed something else, so luckily we come up with that.
Because we're
worried about getting in trouble. Yeah, and it sounds crazy.
Those are the things you got to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I know. YouTube hits me all the time.
James
Luckily,
about that kind of stuff.
With movie reviews, I'm like fair use. That's all.
Well, I mean, do they consider that? I mean, if you're doing movie reviews and you show clips, do they consider it fair use?
They're.
See, I went the whole thing at South by about.
It falls under the Fair Use Act. It's not a person that flags your video. It's a bot. It's a allegory on their website that sees it, goes based on what they have cataloged, says, hey, if you get this footage, you send a rebuttal, and they look at it. The company themselves, 20th Century Fox, they have someone that goes and looks at it or whatever, and they say, yeah, that's okay, and they release it. But they have up to 30 days to look at it, and that 30 days, 20th Century Fox is making money off your video. So after 30 days, if they don't release it or say no, you can't do it, YouTube releases it, and then you can start making money off of it.
So if he does reviews, I'm going to make him watch it again, and then when he records his review, I'm just going to, it'll be the first time ever the filmmaker sits next to him and just looks at him when he's saying
y'all should do that. The other idea we had is there's another guy that does this show that likes to talk a lot of trash.
Yeah.
And he didn't particularly care for Dollboy.
Yeah.
And so we thought it'd be great if he could do a review where he just starts tearing it down, then Dollboy walks in the scene and murders him. I mean, like smashes his head in.
We thought about doing it for real.
I mean, really, you should do that. It'd be great.
But we just shouldn't talk about it on the radio.
Oh, it's okay. The prisoners out there aren't going to tell anybody. It's all right. We're good. They can't understand us anyway. They don't speak English. Okay. Tell us about finding actors for Brutal. This is the last question I'm going to give you, and then we're going to take a little break.
Finding actors is
finding actors and then telling them, okay, look, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this, all these brutal, horrible things. I mean, what's that like?
Well, since I did Dollboy, everybody when I had the casting call for Dollboy, we had like 25 people show up. When I had the casting call for Circus of the Dead, this tells you what Dollboy's done, is we probably had about 350 people show up. Yeah. So, and we took their pictures and stuff, and I had a stable, and, some I would call back later, some, I didn't know I was going to use them, then I started looking through pictures and stuff. And then we went for a handful of people I've met, through the horror convention circuit. And then for Popcorn, I was searching high and low, and Bill Oberst was showing up on search engines and stuff, and I started watching his clips and his demo reels and just fell in love, and then sent him a message, and within an hour he called back and said, yeah, I'd love to read your script. Right? 2 hours later he called back and said, hey, I love that script. Let's make a movie. So.
And where is he out of? Where's he out of?
L.A. Okay. Now, to tell him to do the brutal stuff for him is he's a professional. He read the script. He didn't have any qualms about it whatsoever.
He knew what he was going to have.
Yeah, but see where the problem is, there's 2 young girls in there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and their mom was a good friend of mine, but you still got to say, look, I'm not going to put your kids in anything crazy, but there's crazy stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
So, and it's just up to the parents,
Right.
But it's even like on, if the clown had his pants down or something, and there's another girl on the other side, we had it hidden for her to see, whereas in the movie it's movie magic.
Right.
You know what I mean? So things like that, yeah. So, and none of that was real. That was actually, prosthetics.
Right. Of course.
I know what you're talking about.
Sorry, Jim.
So most of the people that you got into, they know what they're getting into, and perfect. Like I said, they're actors. Hey, we need you to do that.
Well, they expect it from me because it's just, Billy is just wild and crazy. That's the director of Mr. Fister. That's crazy. Yeah. Which I hate that. I hate that people think that about me, because I wish they understood that it's all about making a good movie. It's not just being crazy. Because I could show y'all some indie stuff where people being crazy for crazy's sake. But I would still like to say they're just good classic movies, just with a modern, brutal twist.
All right, we're going to take a little break here, folks. This is Movies on the Radio, a little bit of a different show. We're here with Odessa filmmaker Billy Pon. He's got this film Circus of the Dead that's basically cruising around the horror film festival circuit, pretty much. Dollboy, if you want to see what Billy's done, Dollboy is on YouTube, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's on YouTube. I kind of got it hidden, but if you find me on Facebook or Dollboy on Facebook, I'll shoot you a link.
Okay. All right. But has YouTube given you any issues with Dollboy?
The music, but I got the rights to it, so I just had to.
But what about the violence? I mean, anything on that?
No. The first Circus of the Dead trailer got flat.
I remember when that was going on.
Yeah.
So I like
but I could have put it back up, I think, because I kind of went to bat and fought for it, but it was kind of better publicity that it didn't.
Yeah. And the scene with the cattle prod in the trailer was quite. That was nice. Anyway, folks, we're going to take a little break. Some of this, we're going to go into, this is some music from Circus of the Dead. It's pretty creepy. And I kind of wish we were doing that. Well, I kind of wish it was October.
My wallet would be fuller, that's for sure.
Yeah, we need, when we come back, we're going to talk about your little haunted house over there. Talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about some of your experience during the filming of these crazy movies. Yeah, we'll get away from childhood. We got some other things to get into. But anyway, Mikey, are you okay over there?
Oh, I'm fine.
I'm just making sure. I was just scared you were getting scared of Billy or something like that.
No.
Anyway.
You forget, I spent a year and a half in a war zone.
That's right. Well, I should have asked you if you're scared of anything.
To me, that's all I do. Remember, you guys. It's not real, Brandon.
Yeah, right.
We didn't kill anybody for real.
No, it's
Yet.
Okay, all right. You're listening to movies on the radio right here on KBYG, AM and FM. Here's some music from Circus of the Dead. We'll be right back. Oh, that was it. Oops. Movies on the radio. I'm Brandon Johnson. That was a little bit of music from Circus of the Dead. Sorry, it took me a minute to get back in here. But, didn't realize that was going to be over so fast. Wow.
You lost a flip.
Anyway, this is Movies on the Radio right here on KBYG AM and FM. It's streaming on the web at kbygradio.com. We are sitting in with Odessa filmmaker Billy Pon, and we're talking about, he's got a film, Circus of the Dead, that is on the Horror Film Festival circuit out rolling around. He's got Doll Boy. Look it up. I think you can put Doll Boy in a Google search engine, it brings it up.
Yeah, I think everything brings it up. Except my mic, because my mic right on it. Yeah, you can do Google search and find everything.
Yeah, so if you want to watch Doll Boy, check it out. Just Google search it. Don't recommend to watch it with probably young children. It's a rated R film, definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's very brutal. But if you like horror films, it's awesome. So that's kind of what I think. Okay, we talked about actors, whatever. James will be back in here now. We might tell James that that was a quick piece. What was the music we just listened to? What
you heard "Beautiful Dreamer." I couldn't tell you who wrote it, but it was sung by, or it was produced by Lauren Morris, and sung by Bob Mitchell out of Austin. And Lauren did all the sound and the score and all that kind of stuff for me in the movie. Did a wonderful job.
Yeah. Cool.
And the next one, actually, she produced that too, and that's Red Volkart, and he did "Let Me Call You Sweetheart."
Right, that's the other one.
Yeah, I think Red Volkart, he's like a famous guitarist. He's pretty big.
How'd you get that music?
Through Lauren. Yeah,
okay.
Lauren Morris.
She file the rights or what?
No, those are all public domain songs, so you can just re-record them. Yeah. That's the way to get around it. And I kind of like that old timeless feel too. So.
Yeah, it's my favorite kind of music to use.
Like he didn't get to see, we got a new cut of the film that's got a little bit different music in it.
Yeah.
I changed out that Beautiful Dreamer in the front of it and put in an old song called Do Wackadoo. It's pretty good. So there'll be a new cut come out Friday of the movie. That hopefully will be the final one.
Yeah, until the editing wear you out a little bit.
I spent a lot of time on that, but it's at my day job. But that's my favorite place to be is in the edit bay.
What do you use to edit?
I use the Avid Media Composer.
Okay, I messed with that a little bit. I use Adobe Premiere.
Yeah, and but here's the thing: is how many crazy edits did you see in my movie? It should be cut and dry. I mean, you could use the Star Wars kind of porn wipes.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend that stuff. That's why I always tell everybody, you don't need a fancy editor. You just need something that can handle, good HD stuff. So Adobe Premiere, that'll work totally fine for anything you want to do. But you should just get out and make them. Like I was telling him, is make shorts. Because you can get them into film festivals real easy, and you can get them shot in a weekend, and you're not tying too much of your day job life up. So that's what I'd recommend anybody wanting to start, is to do a short.
Well, and what's ridiculous, and I kick myself all the time, is you can film a short with one of these and real easy.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's like whole film festivals.
He's holding up an iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Oh, you can't. They can't see it.
He could have had like an 8mm.
They can't. What this is on the website.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever the video. Yeah. When the video comes out, they can see.
Yeah, you're right.
There's whole film festivals that are based around these films.
I wish they'd make me do that because I was thinking, this is all I got to worry about. All right.
See, they've got.
There's that video on YouTube with that guy singing "All by Myself" when he had to stay the night in the Las Vegas airport, and he used his iPhone to film this whole video. It's a music video of him singing that song.
Yeah.
And it's actually not that bad.
Well, I was in, where was I at? I don't remember. I was in San Francisco. I was somewhere in California, And I looked up, and here comes this group of people, 2 guys holding lights, 2 actors doing something, and a guy with his phone on a tripod with this giant lens coming out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, what are they? And finally they stopped what they're doing. I said, what are y'all doing? Oh, we're making a movie. With your iPhone? Oh yeah, it works fine. If it's just a little short we're doing, we're just messing around. But yeah, I mean, they've got lenses you can buy.
Well, here, okay, you got a good point now. Here's for the aspiring filmmakers out there. Is anybody can record HD somewhat, you know? Yeah, you get better because you get more lighting, but you got HD. So the secret is the lenses.
Yep.
Spend the money on the lenses because that's what you can't replicate in post and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the next camera I get, I mean that thing is an amazing camera, but the next one I get, Sony's got a new one. It's a 35mm digital, and you can exchange the lenses that you use even with their still cameras. And I was like, and I looked at the price. I was like, it's a little bit higher than what I paid for that, but it looks like it's worth the money. And it's got the sensor on it is just like a 35mm camera, so it captures all the light and depth. I mean, they got stuff that's out there that's affordable.
Well, what I'd say, where I'd jump in on James here is, but see, what I would tell you is if you're serious about making film, if you're shooting just a short for a weekend, go rent the gear. Rent the right stuff. Rent the right gear, rent the right lenses, because it's more affordable than what you would think. Like those car shots in Circus of the Dead for the montage, like we actually, had to hook up our, $30,000 camera up on this thing that's floating on the side of the car, and I was like saying, oh man, this isn't going to end good. But it did end good, and it was totally fine. So, yeah.
Please, Lord, don't let someone hit me.
Oh yeah, there have been times where I've like tied a camera up on a rope just to get a shot of something flying down.
Well, what about these GoPro cameras? Is there anything you can use that in the kind of stuff?
We try to use them in the in Circus. We have a chainsaw juggler in the movie, Peppy the Chainsaw Juggler now, and the guy that we got to play it, the stuntman, well, the guy that played Peppy the Mime. His name is Kyle Mueller. He's a local guy. He's like 7 foot tall, and he's like a big German dude. He's pretty impressive. Yeah. Anyway, but now the guy that played the stuntman in the movie was Mad Chad Taylor. He's the guy you see in the Progressive commercials juggling the chainsaws.
Oh, that's
yeah.
So you got a Progressive guy.
Yeah.
Look at you.
So when he come out to do that, we put a GoPro on his chainsaw. But after the first rotation, it hit and it like shifted, and it was just a horrible shot. Yeah. And we didn't want to add any of that. So
that's a shame. That would have been a cool thing to see.
It would have been neat. I got the footage, but like I said, after the very first hand hit, it just moved in so much you can't see nothing. And he could only juggle for so long, And we're pushing.
Those things are heavy. That can't be easy.
3 chainsaws juggling with the blade really turning. Yeah.
Was it hard, like whenever you were casting this thing and finding stunt people or whatever? Was it hard to do that, or have you pulled enough resources? You had people you could get a hold of, or you just asked these people?
Well, it's the internet. Like I knew I needed a chainsaw juggler, so I started talking to some, and at first it was a little pricey and stuff like that. But I said, well, I don't have you doing. I said it won't even take you 30 minutes. 30 minutes of juggling here and there and stuff, and we'll film some shots and you'll be done. And he turned out to be a really great guy. Made a really good friend out of that guy. So actually, everybody that was in the movie is just turned out really.
Sounds like a fun set to be on. Sounds
Well,
like.
no, I yelled and cussed at everybody.
Really?
Yeah. It was fun afterwards, thinking about it, in fond memory. But during it got pretty hairy sometimes. I mean, like I said, we'd start shooting sometimes as soon as it got dark, and we'd wrap up. Yeah, the sun would be coming up in the morning. And the only good thing about that, we were filming in downtown Odessa next to that Southern Made Donuts. Now, have you ever had Southern Made at like 4 in the morning?
I've had some good stuff.
Man, oh man. I'm going to pull my pants down right now.
What the hell's a Krispy Kreme?
So I bet those overnights, right? I hate
it's crazy.
Overnights. Hated filming overnights.
But you know what? But that goes back to filmmaking too. Is you start cutting corners late. Everybody gets tired. It gets later, and that's something I'm going to make sure doesn't happen next time. Is keep everybody as pumped up from the beginning all the way to the end.
So like they start dragging towards the end.
Yeah, and including myself too. I would start dozing off or not paying much attention, or I'd seen something better than I thought it was, just because I wanted it to be.
You wanted it to be done.
Wanted it to be done.
Yeah, you're tired of jacket.
Well, you got other people that had day jobs too, and I felt bad. Yeah. The actors from LA got to go and crash at a hotel, for the day, but the rest of us had to go to day jobs, and that got kind of rough.
Well, I tell you what, man, if you're getting people to do that, you've got some true warriors there. You yourself are a true warrior for doing that, because I'm too big. I'm a big old baby.
But I'll tell you this though, it's it's really taken off and stuff, and everybody's saying congratulations all this, but it's like I take that as a congratulations to everybody that was involved with it, because we did it together.
Yeah, it's a team effort. Man.
Yeah, and I couldn't have done it without. If one of those pieces would have fell off, I couldn't have done it. Yeah, I really couldn't.
Start to finish. Okay, I wanted to ask you, let's do this on both of them. Start to finish, how long did it take you to write, produce, direct, and distribute Dollboy?
Well, we didn't ever distribute Dollboy, but to get it out, but see, we shot it on the weekends because I didn't want to mess with the day job stuff, and that was like one of your other questions where I said the weirdest thing that happened. And we shot in the old Gibson's building in off of West County in Odessa, and it was turned into a Mexican flea market. That's why I wrote the story around it. I knew the location was so good that I wrote a really good story around it. Me and Lee Ankrum. And but when it rained, there were so many holes in the roof, and there was nowhere for the water to go. When we'd go up there after it rained, I didn't know this the first time we went up there. I opened up the front doors, the double doors in this old department store, and it come out like The Shining, the elevator.
All the water.
The water. There's probably about 3 or 4 foot of water in there that just come out. It was like the craziest thing I've ever seen. So anything that was not nailed down was like flooded, and was like our props and stuff all disappeared and stuff like that.
Oh man.
Yeah. But now, what the funniest thing that probably happened on the Dollboy set though was my boss, John Bushman, owned that property, and Tom Glassman, the old sports guy. I don't know if you remember him.
Which property? The Gibson's property?
The Gibson's property.
Okay.
So the other guys that worked for ICA Properties didn't know we were filming a movie in there, and they took some Japanese businessmen in there. During the week, we weren't there, but we had all these. We had we had the dead body with the skeleton lady with the dead baby in her stomach and all this kind of stuff. And they went in there and started seeing all this blood and stuff, and they freaked out and called the police and stuff like that. So, yeah. But luckily, the police, they all know me. And they said, "Oh, that's one of Billy's movies. Billy's up here filming."
Oh, it's crazy, Billy. So you're in good with the police department.
Yeah.
That's
they helped a lot.
That's something good to do. Yeah, especially whenever you're filming.
Well, Circus of the Dead, too, like all the gun stuff.
Yeah, cop cars in that movie.
That costs money. You don't get cop cars for free. But what we did do is Craig Goodson did the stunt driving, and in front of the theater scene, the kids keep driving by. They're coming back from a high school football game, coming by, and I figured, one of us would do the stunt driving and drive the car by, 30, 40 miles an hour. He's a cop, man. He drove that thing by at least 120 miles an hour during it. It was like real. It was pretty good. So.
Well, so you had to pay the police department to use the cars?
Yeah, you just rent them and make sure their signs and stuff are covered up. I think the new cut, we got it blurred out pretty good, so you kind of can't tell. But
okay, your locations. That was the other thing I was going to ask.
Location's very important. That's another indie.
Did you? Okay, here's what I want to know. Because if you're in this old, decrepit department store
with no electricity.
Yeah, did you have to sign all kinds of crazy insurance releases in case somebody? Because usually.
Well, our boss owns it, and at the time. Now I'm in business with them, and I have everybody sign anyway. You do that, but you have insurance and stuff too.
Right. Yeah, I knew there's all kinds of different insurance.
Because crazy things happen, but like I don't play around with that gun safety and stuff like that. Like that whole the crow thing and stuff like that. I don't chance that stuff. Everything's triple double checked, and I have the cop oversee all that kind of stuff. So nobody touches the guns. It goes from the the cop to me to the actor.
So what is that? So what did y'all just use? A lot of blanks and stuff like that?
A lot of blanks, a lot of blank guns, stuff like that. We didn't use, because I'm not a big CGI, because every movie you watch now, real bad movies, CGI gunfire.
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
You had the, what do they call it?
Squibs, yeah. Those are air cannons loaded up in there, blew out. But
I knew you were kind of low budget. I was almost, because I've made movies with guns and stuff, and I had to use
CGI. Yeah. But see, what happens is if you got a CGI gun, when somebody shoots it, they're not reacting to the gun. But like our little small dwarf clown was shooting a gun, and everybody goes, "Hey, do you want to reshoot that?" He was blinking. He blinked or flinched when he shot it, and I go, "No, that's real. That's the way it would be."
Yeah.
So I like that kind of stuff.
I had the real guns, but not the real blood.
Where did you find a midget clown?
He's worked in the haunted house for me for almost a decade.
Yeah, I want to talk about.
Now he's not anymore. He got picked up with Micro Championship Wrestling.
Oh, so he's wrestling now.
Yeah. He's in Florida right now. Yeah.
Yeah, there's good money in there. At least they're not tossing.
That's Mike Williams. He played Jumbo the Clown. See, it's like a twist. It's instead of like Jumbo Shrimp, Jumbo Clown.
One of the best lines in the movie, I can't repeat it on radio, but it had to do with what do I care about what a dwarf thinks?
yeah. We'll make sure Brandon gets. You need to watch it. Brandon.
I'm going to.
You need to watch it. Quit making excuses.
I won't make.
He's scared.
He's already doing something.
No. After
y'all need to set a watching night and bring people over and watch it.
Yeah, after talking to you, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna check it out.
And take away his technology, everybody's technology, and make
take away Mikey's. Mikey's the phone Nazi, right? He's always awesome.
What? Your favorite? What was your favorite experience during the filming of these movies? What was the coolest thing? I mean, was there what's the whole thing?
Probably Circus of the Dead would be. I think it was like things are real hairy and stuff at first, and I think I lost my audio. Did I lose my audio?
No, you're good.
Is it good? Okay. Anyway, I guess when we first started, I didn't know what I was doing. I was real green, real scared, and all this kind of stuff. But we were filming the first time where Bill was in his makeup and stuff. Papa Corn, yeah, Bill Oberst Jr. Right. And we're up on this thing, and I was just kind of at the back, surveying the whole layout of everything. And I seen the cameras and the lights and those clowns, man, and I just started shedding a tear, like saying, holy cow, this is actually, for real, And it was great. And that was probably the best time. But there's other weird things too. Like we were working on the prosthetic and stuff, and I didn't know it, but he'd pulled his pants down. Say, hey Billy, can you come here and look at this? And I'd walk around the corner, and I'd go, oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah. So you see, there's so many funny things because we were all cut-ups and clowns in real life, and we just had a blast, messing with each other, so to speak. So we had a lot of fun on set.
Okay. So it wasn't just you screaming the whole time then?
Well, it was probably 99.9% of me screaming, and then like 0.1% of fun.
Yeah. Let me know when you're casting next time. Real quick, I want to get back to let's talk about your haunted house.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how long? Explain where that came from and how long you've been doing it. I mean, is that your warehouse? Do you own that warehouse?
I own the warehouse. I started that in '98.
Yeah, it's called
DEFCON 1 Haunted Warehouse.
DEFCON 1 Haunted House. It's on what, 4th Street?
2nd Street.
2nd Street. Mm-hmm. Okay.
West 2nd Street. Go to bloodybill.com for that kind of stuff. Then we also, I guess around 2006, 2007, we started Circus of the Dead and Murder Maze. Now does that sound familiar, Circus of the Dead?
Is that where you first got the idea for this? Did you put it into the haunted house first?
Yeah, well, people come out to the haunted house, and DEFCON 1 Haunted Warehouse is kind of like a Resident Evil kind of thing, a Day of the Dead kind of thing, where there's like a military, thing, base that went wrong or whatever, and people love it, and they still do love it. It's one of the best attractions in the basin, if you ask me. But
I've heard that.
Yeah, well, they come out and they say, well, hey, it was really good, but I'm glad there's no clowns because clowns really freak me out. And I heard that 2,000 times over a year.
I guess we better get some clowns.
Let's do a clown haunted house just for the heck. And so anyway, so we did it, and doing the haunted house inspired me to start building some cool characters. Me and Lee, he's the co-designer, co-creator of DEFCON, co-writer. We're childhood friends, kind of grew up together. He's kind of the only person on the planet who is as messed up as I am, probably in the head, and it's the only person I kind of trust to write with because I'm a really violent writer, if I don't like somebody else's ideal or something. So, but he's the opposite with that, so we work really good together. So we got some good ideas.
And so you've been doing it since 2001, you said?
98.
98.
Yeah.
Okay. And that does pretty good. I've heard there's giant crowds out there.
It does, and people go, well, why are you? Because it's basically $5 per haunted house, and they go, well, they charge $40, $50 in Dallas and stuff. I go, yeah, but I'm doing this this is kind of like a Halloween family tradition.
So you're a big Halloween fan, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It's hard to do, and somebody says, will you do it forever? And I say, I don't know. But maybe if the movie takes off, maybe I'll put one out on the highway and just do, like a giant one or something. Or maybe they'll call me to that, horror nights up in Vegas or,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Universal.
Well, Rodriguez is doing one this year on the From Dusk Till Dawn thing, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a Universal, isn't it?
But that's what's funny is, I won't say I'm as good as those guys, him and Rob Zombie making movies, but I bet I could, whip their butt in haunted houses. that's my specialty there, so.
I need to go over there and check that thing out.
Y'all come out.
When does that kick out? When does that kick off?
I can tell you it opens up exactly. Let me look at my calendar here. We just talked about this. We're not going to be open up as many days this year, and we're going to do just the weekend so we don't kill all the day jobbers. We are opening up on October 17th, 18th, so that Friday and Saturday, then the 24th and 25th.
3 weekends.
And then Thursday the 30th, 31st, and then November 1st.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So basically the last 3 weekends.
Last 3 weekends of October. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's over on, all you got to do is
bloodybill.com.
Exit County Road. I know this because all those oil field equipment places are right down the road from me.
Yeah.
And,
West County Road.
West County Road. Take a left on 4th.
Second.
Take a left on 2nd, right there on the left.
He is stuck on 4th Street.
That's where the brothels are. I don't know what Brandon's talking about.
Oh, well, you know. So you're starting to get a lot of recognition for your work with Dollboy and Circus of the Dead from the horror media outlets. Fangoria, I saw, said something, and then I saw a recent write-up on the website I've been following since the day it hit the internet back in '98, I guess. Ain't It Cool News. Right. What do you think things are about to take off, and are you just overjoyed? Are you excited?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm excited, but to me it's I've already been there and done the circus, and yeah, I've got to get it sold and get it out to everybody. But kind of in my head, I've already started to. I want to top that next, so I'm already.
So you're already on to the next.
I'm already in my head because I'm one of those people that's just I'm never satisfied no matter what I do. So I got to try and do something even better than what I did, take it further, so to speak. So I'm kind of doing that. It's a good movie, and I stand behind it, and I'm very proud of it. Yeah. So, but it's time to do something else. Maybe a Dollboy feature. I don't know. Yeah. So some other things, but I'm not going to mention those. I don't like mentioning ideas sometimes because somebody will snag it so quick you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing: is in this time, I mean, you could make a horror short, i.e. like Dollboy, and do a little bit of Facebooking, and then the next thing you know, it's opening up all kinds of doors for you. You know what I mean? It's out there for anybody. That's why everybody should give it a shot.
Well, it's like I said years ago to a group of us that were talking about doing film and stuff. And when we started out, there was there was none of this HD. There was none of this, whatever. Now, with the technology where we are now, you can film anything you want, pretty much from your phone to a camera or whatever. Edit the thing, and then guess what? You've got worldwide distribution at your fingertips.
Yeah, you
right
could.
There.
But here's the only thing that's changed though. Back in the old days, you could still do all that, but there's like a 1,000,000-to-1 ratio of bad movies now. Back then, there's some really bad ones. I mean, I dare you to sit through some of those and get through the whole movie.
I mean, it's like on Netflix. I mean, you scroll through so many movies before you finally watch one. And 15 years ago, going to the video store.
I miss that though.
I do. I miss going to the video store and taking a chance on renting this movie.
So I did have Netflix. I said, okay, that looks interesting. In about 15 minutes, I'm like, yeah, this is stupid back. Okay.
But yeah, 15 years ago, you'd be like, I spent $5 on this movie. I got to finish it.
But see, you guys, they put a lot of emphasis on what those box arts look like.
Yeah.
And how many times have you seen something that looked really cool and it was like the worst thing you ever saw? That had nothing to do with the box.
Great box art. Like, man, this is bad. You put the movie like, this has nothing to do with what I saw in the box.
I just remember whenever. And you were probably at Blockbuster when I remember doing all this, James. They would have some really bad, like the really bad horror stuff. Yeah. Blockbuster would ship it in there because around here people eat it up. They rent it like crazy.
Well, that's the way they worked, actually. When I was a manager there, they based it on what was rented. Like when I worked there, they had a copy of Boondock Saints on VHS. I rented it. It went into the computer. It saw that I rented it. After I rented it, 2 friends rented it because I told them to. They shipped a DVD copy because of that. I rented it. The 2 friends rented it. 2 more friends rented it. And they shipped a copy for sale because of that. I bought it. They shipped 2 more copies. And it's based on what people are renting.
He set the trend. He was actually the trendsetter.
Yeah.
In this area. Yeah.
And then the sequel came out, and I was like, eh.
Oh, man, the sequel.
He was I met Norman Reedus at those early Texas Fright Night weekends when I first went out there with Dollboy. Yeah. And he is super, super nice.
I've heard he's real laid back, real nice.
Oh yeah, he is really big. Nice but then what happened though is it was before Walking Dead was big, and I was kind of into Walking Dead on the early days. And now I get kind of mad that everybody's jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I was there the first episode they hit the airwaves. I was there.
But he was real cool, and then what happened is, like, after it got big, you couldn't even get within a mile radius of him. By then, there was 1 million screaming girls. Yeah. So then he decided you didn't get to say hi to him anymore or nothing anymore. It just got too crazy. So he must be going through. You think I'm like having success? That guy's he hit the jackpot.
Yeah, I was reading through the Comic-Con preview in Entertainment Weekly. He's popping up in some movies now. He's a great actor.
Yeah, and even a better guy. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's good stuff. real quick, something else I was reading about here. It looks like they're talking about rebooting all of the classic Universal monsters, Frankenstein, Dracula, all that good stuff. What do you think? Yeah, that's kind of what
they kind of already have, haven't they?
Yeah,
I mean, how many Draculas or Frankensteins?
Twilight don't count.
That was back in the 90s.
Hey, I met a guy from Twilight Saturday night.
You met a guy from Star Trek. Yeah, they did it with Francis Ford Coppola did Dracula, and then Kenneth Branagh.
Oh crap! You know what they're wanting to do here? I didn't finish reading the article.
You're talking about Dracula Untold?
No, they're talking about they want to do a interconnected group of monster movies where they all connect, a la Kevin Feige, Marvel, a la Universe.
Monster Squad?
No, not Monster Squad, but just like do a bunch of these.
Or they do that on Penny Dreadful anyway already.
Is that what's going on? I
haven't watched Penny Dreadful?
No, I've never seen it.
I've seen the movie.
It's I don't think it's
not that movie. Yeah,
but they tie in all these things from our past like that, and it's not bad. It's okay. It's kind of one of those shows your wife and stuff would like too, but yet you would kind of like it too. So it's like kind of one of those. It's kind of like Walking Dead. It kind of
guilty pleasure.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's kind of like Walking Dead. There's enough soap opera in it too for the women to like it, enough messed up stuff in it for me to like.
See what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to do Dracula, the Creature.
The Black Lagoon.
I guess that's what they're talking about there. Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, and the Mummy, and then make them all interconnected into one universe. Like do a bunch of different films, and then
somebody will do Monster Squad too sooner or later.
Well, Red Decker is talking about doing a sequel.
Who Decker is?
Yeah.
Well, he's working on this new Predator thing.
Yeah,
he's working on a Predator thing right now.
Well, they're doing the Goonies sequel too. Remember?
Yeah.
I was approached by somebody for a remake. I can't say what it is, but on air. But yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Turn off the mics.
We'll talk about it after.
After the show.
Yeah, the remakes thing, I don't know. There's been some decent ones.
Red Dawn.
More bad ones. Footloose.
Yeah, I hope. Fingers crossed.
I don't know. I've seen some
Fright Night.
You know, the Fright Night remake wasn't that bad.
No.
It was more tolerable than some of these
that
others.
bad.
You want to know my theory about that though, you guys? Because people ask me, what would you remake? It's like I don't want to do remakes, right? But if I had to, it'd be easier to do a really bad one. Like, if it was a bad movie to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then you're golden. You can't make it worse. But you can't, it's like that Nightmare on Elm Street,
Oh, that's horrible.
But it's even any of that stuff because it's messing with your childhood. If they remade Star Wars, we'd be in trouble. But since they're continuing the legacy, we're okay.
Well, because what they're doing on that is all of us kids from the 70s to 80s are all having kids and families and stuff like that. They're catering money. They're catering to every bit of us. It's, right now, the franchises. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. This Harry Potter thing isn't over yet either. We're going to see more Harry Potter stuff when it's all said and done. They're going to do a movie version of that book that they find in Deathly Hallows. I can't remember what it's called. Magical Creatures and something or whatever.
Don't get me to line on that stuff.
Yeah, they're making.
I'm straight. Sorry.
Making a whole movie on that. Anyway, okay, real quick. I keep saying it real quick. That's like my nervous ticker tonight.
Casually.
Yeah. Do you have nightmares about these evil people in your films?
Yeah, but that's a good thing.
Okay, so
that's a lot of those ideas come.
Really?
That doll boy thing come from a nightmare.
Really? Mm-hmm. So, like, have you ever woke up in the middle of the night, grabbed your phone, and started making notes?
Yeah, I do actually. That or I'll use the voice memo sometimes. But I'll say I'll wake up the next day and I'll say elephant tree or something like that, just coconut man. And it's and sometimes I don't know what it means or anything, but do an experiment sometimes. Wake up and just spit stuff off on your voice memo and listen to it the next day.
See, I remember that happened one time when I was in high school. We were all asleep in a room and somebody woke up in the middle of the night and started going, "Concealed weapon watermelons!"
Yeah.
What?
What? But what you do is if you think about something, tirelessly during the day, to me, I do that because when I'm so tired and I fall asleep, it bleeds over into my subconscious, and that's where you get really good stories and ideas and stuff.
Really?
Like that. Imagery. Like there's a new movie. One of my new ideas. The imagery come from a dream. I seen it in my dream, and then I started putting it together, and that's where the story comes from. Is a dream. Yeah.
Okay. Where are you seeing yourself? I don't know, 5 years, 10 years. Where do you want to be?
Well, I wouldn't mind being here, but I'd hopefully be maybe living near some water. A little bit.
You're gonna live near some water. Okay.
But as far as that,
all over the country.
Maybe doing, still doing movies and stuff like that. I started a local business person with me in the film business, so hopefully we continue both together.
So maybe get it to where there's no need for a day job. There's just
hopefully that'll happen within a year.
Really?
Hopefully by the time the next feature films, I'll be getting to do that. So.
Well, I will say this. It's like we said earlier. Whatever. Filmmaking is hard work. Your hard work will pay. I mean, it looks like it is paying off.
It is, and I appreciate everything that comes my way, and everybody's. But it's to me, I'll always be sad about it. It wasn't as good as I thought it could be, and that's going to be everything.
You're your own worst critic.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
I understand that completely.
I watched a review today online where this girl reviewed the movie, and
is that when you posted today?
No, I didn't post it because she gave so many spoilers. I didn't want to post it.
Yeah. And
I was like, why would you do a review and just basically give the movie away? So she did this crazy review, and but if she like messed up, she'd edit herself. So it's just like a million jump cuts to her. It was almost like Max Headroom. And I was thinking, I need to do a review of her show. But I'm thinking about her.
You'll see some of my old videos where I do a lot of that.
Well, if it's bad in a funny way, that's one thing. That'd be great.
It's not where we mess up. It's just I cut it for time. But I've gotten to now where I'll cut to a clip of the movie and then back to us.
Cut out some of it.
Yeah.
But she bashed it, but she knew every single detail about it. You know what I mean? It's like so if you love it or hate it, you're not going to forget it.
Yeah.
That's what I say. You're not going to forget Circus of the Dead once you watch it. You cannot erase it from your mind.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
That's what I'm scared of. That's what I'm afraid of.
But see, here's the whole thing is it's about Popcorn, Bill Oberst Jr.
Yeah.
And Don Johnson, you get it?
Nice.
He's played by Parrish Randall.
Nice.
Parrish.
He was in Dollboy, wasn't he?
Nope. I brought him in from Dallas. He's been in The Quick and the Undead and a lot of movies like that.
Yeah.
And he's one of my best friends. He's like a brother to me. Same thing with Bill and stuff. But they're the yin and yang of men. See, James will get a lot of this stuff. Is we all have bad thoughts. We all want to do bad things. It pops in your mind 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
but we don't because we got to do what's right. Yeah. So that's what it is.
It's morality.
What if you didn't have morality? You'd be Popcorn. But sometimes if you're just so brain dead in life, you're like, Donald the Clown. You're not paying attention to what's going on, and your wife is venturing off with somebody else, and you're just kind of losing touch of what's really important in life because you're not, you take things for granted. You take your life for granted.
And that's really what if you were to say the theme of Circus of the Dead, that's pretty much it.
Just don't take your life for granted because it could always be a lot worse. A lot worse.
See, that's the thing. And James can attest to this because he's my texting therapist. A lot of times when I'm blowing up, I send him a long violin diatribe and stuff. And I read something kind of what you were saying there, and then I watched that. I got about 15 minutes in last night before I fell over, and I could tell already. I was like, you know what? I was like, this is kind of a lot like what's going on with me right now.
And it should
because right now, here's the deal. And I'll be honest. Where I work right now is total chaos. It is nuts.
Yeah.
And that's in the oil field. That's good. That's what you want because that means that everybody's making money and whatever. Well, that's great and everything, but when it overwhelms you, anything like that overwhelms you. And I don't care whether it's saying, oh, y'all are all making money. Well, whatever. But you're still. it wears you out. It makes you just angry with and angry with people and angry with life in general. But then when you stop and take a step back and go, yeah, that's all whatever, but it's not that bad. It could be so much worse.
You need to come home and leave the work away.
Exactly.
And
leave it home. Yeah.
And that's what they go, well, Billy just makes crazy horror movies. Do I, or do I make something where maybe some guy like you sees that and says, you know what, I need to spend extra time with my kids and stuff and appreciate what I have. It could do a good thing for people too.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to say that in no review, are they?
No, they're not going to say it because it's got all that crazy, gore stuff and all that.
Yeah,
that's
clown nudity and all that.
Clown nudity, naked clown scares people.
Scared me.
Made me laugh.
Movie soundtracks. That's what a lot of this show's about. We play a lot of movie soundtracks like that. If you got any favorite ones, is there any that you listen to when you're riding? You listen to anything when you're riding?
I was on a big kick in the '90s with that From Dusk Till Dawn.
That was one of my favorite soundtracks.
Yeah.
Loved it. That's great.
And of course, like that Death Proof.
Yeah.
It's always a good one too.
That's a good one. Speaking of that, I'll think of that one.
Sin City, I was on for a while.
Sin City was great.
Yeah.
Sin City was good.
And I had
Pulp Fiction soundtrack's good one too.
Pulp Fiction, yeah, that's a given. And probably the really the weirdest one was probably I found it at a pawn shop for $1, but I spun it a lot on the CD player was Black Mask. with Jet Li.
Yeah.
For some reason. I found it at a pawn. Who in Odessa, Texas, you find a Black Mass soundtrack CD at a pawn shop. It was meant to be, right?
Yeah.
So.
I found a Super Cop.
Jackie Chan Super Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird. Like for some strange reason, I go back. I still really like the Social Network that Trent Reznor did a few years ago.
Okay.
That's a great one. All the music from that. Did you see Drive a while
Yes.
back? Yeah, all the music from Drive is that's Cliff Martinez used to be the guitarist for Red Hot Chili Peppers at one point in time. He does stuff that just blows me away. That Drive, the stuff from Drive still just rocks my socks. It's great music.
So that's what y'all normally do on the show, is spin a bunch of soundtracks?
Well, here's what we've been doing is when I originally started the show, the first show I ever did, it was me playing some different soundtracks, and that was very boring. And so I found some other guys, James Womble and Chad Coleman, they came in here, and we kind of got to where the format where we are now, where we play music, then we talk, we play music, and then James and Mikey came in whenever I lost a lot of those people to day jobs and railroads and such like that, and it kind of turned into more of a talk show more than a soundtrack show. But we can't do a show every week. I don't have enough time to do a show every week. And sometimes James will go and they'll record one at his house at the Check Their Brain Studios,
right? And
then we'll play that. And then
those are usually topic shows.
Yeah, well, they usually yap about different topics and such like that. And then the past 2 weeks he was on vacation, and then there was something else before that. I picked a couple of soundtracks that we played, I mixed some movie clips in or whatever. It's like the old Cinemagic on satellite radio that they killed.
Okay.
And I'm still angry that they did that. I was so mad.
Well, everything good always disappears, don't it?
Oh, man, I was so mad. So mad. And I canceled my subscription, but satellite radio saved me in West Texas. Because I don't know if you ever listen to all the... Wait a minute, what am I saying? Wait a minute.
Never mind.
Wait a minute. I think they just canceled our radio show. Okay, tell you what. Yeah.
Get us canceled.
All right, I'm going to take a little break, then we're going to come back. Got a few other things to talk about. I picked some music from Natural Born Killers soundtrack because I just thought that kind of met the theme. Yeah. What do you think about that film?
I liked it. I wish Tarantino would have directed it, though.
Instead of just writing it. A lot of people don't know that he wrote that.
I know, yeah. He did that to pay for another film. He paid for Pulp Fiction, didn't he?
Yeah, he wrote that, and he wrote True Romance.
True Romance. Yeah. They changed the ending on both of them, didn't they?
Yeah.
And he wrote Reservoir Dogs, and they only let him direct one of them. And it was Reservoir Dogs.
He picked the right one.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we're going to play a little bit of this real quick, then we're going to come back. We're talking with Odessa filmmaker Billy Pon. He's if you look up Doll, if you want to watch something, check out Doll Boy. Just Google Doll Boy and check it out, but don't watch it with the kids. So
definitely not kids.
Not with kids. Anyway, you listen to Movies on the Radio right here on KBYG, AM and FM.
And scene.
Movies on the Radio. I'm Brandon Johnson. Little music from Death Proof there, Mr. Billy there. In studio this evening, Odessa filmmaker Billy Pon, who we've been grilling for the past, hour, 40 minutes.
Grilling.
You hungry?
No, that's all right. I'm saying that'd be better if you had like steaks and stuff going on here.
Well,
next time?
Next time, all right.
Hey, he brings Arby's sometimes.
Does he?
Yeah, we just can't eat in here.
I never made it to Odessa or Midland Day. Sorry.
I'm there every day.
I love it when you bring Arby's.
You don't have is like Arby's a shortage?
Well,
here in Big Spring,
yeah, there's no Arby's over here.
Arby's in Odessa?
No, there's one in Midland.
I've lived in Odessa since '98, and I went to Arby's twice, I think.
Yeah, that's not.
Go to Chipotle.
Well, I also discovered, and this is not a good thing. I gave up fried burritos very long, like 5-6 years ago. It's like these are bad. Can't eat these things. The convenience store by my house, I walked in, and not only do they have fried burritos, but the taco sauce that goes perfect with the fried burritos, like from the old school stuff that was at Big Spring High School, they've got it. So I bought like 3, and I ate all 3 of them, and they were awesome.
Now I got lost when I come over here, and I turned on
Yeah, nice stuff, James.
what is it, like Airline Road?
Yeah, you right there where the base comes in.
Yeah, is there is that an abandoned school over there?
Is there an abandoned school?
Or is it still in operation?
Oh, you went by that's like the kindergarten center or something like that.
Oh, so it's still open?
I think so.
Okay.
I know which one you're talking about, because you went right there to like the base stuff.
But abandoned school would be a
Are you
cool
wanting
place.
an abandoned school?
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. Is there one here in Big Spring?
Where?
The old
Isn't that one
junior
over
high.
Yeah, the old junior high.
Oh, you mean Reynolds?
Yeah,
The church owns that. They're not going to let anybody go in there for the movie.
I know a good.
No.
I know
Not that one. The church is in that
No.
red brick one over there on
No, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, Big Red. Yeah, Reynolds Jr. I went there. I went to 8th grade there. It was awesome.
Nobody's using it.
That place is haunted.
The two big silos out by the refinery. That's
you're talking about Cabot?
That's one of the scariest places.
I've got a good story for that. Actually, I filmed a bunch of stuff out there in high school.
Yeah, you see stuff out there.
Yeah, but then we were going to shoot something. I don't remember what it was. I know we were shooting a trailer for the space movie that I had this wild idea for. It was awful. And I wanted to film out there, and so I went to Sid Richardson to go see, hey, we'd like to shoot over there. And they said not no, but heck no.
Yeah, I never asked.
Yeah,
I just went.
Oh, well, we did too for years, but I was going to do an actual deal.
You try to do it right sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to try to do something. Yeah, do something right, and
well, that's what you're saying. Acquiring locations is half the battle sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And there's some good locations.
And that's why you do it before you film.
Yeah.
Or before you got everybody lined up to film and scheduled.
We lock down your location first.
Totally. That's
now,
very important.
Yeah, speaking of locations and stuff like that, tell me about renting a circus. Explain to me how you got a circus, how that worked out. How do you do that?
Well, it goes back to Google. You just start looking for circuses, and I started looking for anything in Texas. Found a Mexican one that come in around about Brownfield or something, but they returned a phone call back one time, and the phone cut out, and I could never reach them again. I tried for like a week, and then I met the Plunketts out of from the Christy Cole Circus out of Dallas. I think it's like the Mayberry area or Maybank area, Maybank. Mayberry. And they're like the nicest people too. That's what I say is like I feel like everybody's my friends afterwards.
Yeah.
Because you meet these people and you make a movie with somebody, you kind of bond because you're
you're
going through hell. That's for sure.
It's like going to war.
It is going to war.
It is going to war. It's like going to the church.
And you should treat it that way too, because another.
Mike's actually been to actual war.
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't compare it to that. What I'm saying though is like, to me, making a movie is very important because I want the actor to be proud of what they're doing. I just don't want it to be. I don't want them to be embarrassed. I don't want it to be one of those movies where they go, well, the acting is really good. Yeah, your acting is really good. I want it to be one that's kind of all the way around everybody kind of likes. So I want to be proud of it. So
when you finally found the circus, did you just call them and say, hey, can y'all come set up for a month?
This is my ideal because, well, here's the thing is like, the haunted house I have, Circus of the Dead Murder Maze, we were almost boycotted one year by clowns, local clowns. True story.
Really?
True story, you guys. And I work at the TV station, but somebody called the TV station, caught wind of my name, and they wanted to do a story from CNN. And I thought, please let these clowns boycott, because I was getting ready to film Circus of the Dead, and I was thinking if I was actually getting boycotted by real clowns,
CNN shows
up, did a story, it would be great. Yeah. And they realized that, and they backed off.
Like, yeah, if we give it attention, that's funny.
And they realized, but
don't feed the flame.
But they take that stuff serious, so that goes back to that circus thing. Is I wanted them to know that I wasn't going to offend the circus or anything. It's a good circus and all that kind of stuff. But all we did was make these clowns, a little diabolic.
So you did because they showed up. I mean, did they have all the animals and all that?
Yeah. They had the tent and everything, and we set it up in the DEF CON parking lot.
Right.
DEF CON Haunted Warehouse parking lot, and they're up there setting it up, and I rented like a bobcat for them and all that kind of stuff. And I opened the gate for them, and all these diesels come in and stuff like that. And I went back to work for, I guess, about an hour or two, and come back, and there's a circus set up that covered up the whole parking lot almost. I was like, this is surreal.
This wasn't here 2 hours.
But, Bill and Parrish, they've done a lot of indie films, and I remember them there. I seen them there both laughing, and, I was real insecure. I said, what are they laughing at? Because I'm amateur. And I said, what's so funny, you guys? And they said, if this was any other person doing indie film, Billy, they would have had a canvas tarp and us to be fake, there's not really people there. He goes, you got a real circus and you got 300-400 people sitting out here hanging on every one of our words, So I said, this is incredible. So I think they saw that when Parrish and Bill and Chanel Ryan and all them saw that for the first time. I think they knew they're into something big.
So how long did you rent the circus?
We rented the circus. I think it ended up being 6 days.
Okay, so you cranked all the circus stuff out in
6 days. Yeah, but I missed a lot of stuff.
Wow, and that was 6 days of overtime.
We had an actor fall out, and we had to replace the actor, so we lost 2 days of filming in the circus. So we really got everything done in the circus in 4.5 days.
Okay. See, for some reason, I kept thinking maybe you had rented a circus for 3 weeks.
Oh no,
wow.
Not in the budget.
We had to keep them an extra night too, and I felt really bad about it. And they did it without charging any more money because they're just happy to be a part of something like that. So they're just real good people. And I tried to get out of there as quick as I could that last night, but I don't think I think they wrapped up and left to go home like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we worked till about 4 or 5 in the morning that night.
Did like anybody ever show up and go, "Hey, is there a circus?"
Yeah.
No, we're actually filming a movie.
And it starts off with 300 or 400 people, and then after they see it's a bunch of dialogue that they can't even hear because they're so far away from it, they're just blurry people in the background. They didn't last too long. It starts weeding out. So anything you needed crowds for, it was smart to shoot it in the early when everybody was there.
Right.
With all the background stuff. And then everything we shot from the crowd's point of view, we did it when the crowd was gone. And then pumped in the fake sound and stuff like that.
Yeah, movie magic.
Movie magic. Well, it's just you got to adapt. You got to adapt, or you'll sink.
Well, okay. I see. I'm kind of running out of my questions here, but what would you say? Okay, let's say I'm a 16-year-old kid. I want to make movies. What would you tell them?
I'd say do it. I'd say write a story and get you a good people that you trust, and take criticism really well. I was talking to James about that. That's the key point: is take criticism by somebody you respect, and don't get your feelings hurt.
Don't wear your feelings on the sleeve.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my wife.
But that's good to have somebody that rips you apart. It's good to have somebody that tears you down.
His wife's his producer, and she's pretty brutal with him.
Yeah, she'll tell you right up front. That's stupid.
Just somebody you respect or something. Just trust their opinion. But just think, just because you come of it, you come up with it, and it's like, not everything you come up with is going to be golden.
No.
And you got to throw it to the wall and see if it sticks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, a lot of stuff that don't stick for me, other people would kill to have. And they would go make a movie out of it, but it's not good enough for me. It's got to be good.
Okay, so Circus of the Dead is out cruising around. You're getting into some festivals and some of that stuff or whatever. What's next?
We're kind of in the business phase of it too. That goes back to indie filmmaking too. Is there's a lot of red tape and stuff. So what you do is if you want to talk to, big distributors, you kind of need an agent.
Yeah, has anybody hit you up? Any big distributors?
Well, distributors don't come. Small distributors, they've come, by the hundreds.
But it's.
Yeah, but if you're looking for something big, yeah, but they won't talk to you unless you have an agent. So that's what we're doing now, is looking for a good agent, to work for us and to go sell our film for us is what we're basically doing.
Because you don't have an agent right
now. We got some we're talking to. We're just trying to pick who we feel the most strongly about.
Right, who's got the right fit.
But as I was telling somebody, for the 16-year-old wanting to make a movie, I wouldn't make a feature right off the bat. I started off with Doll Boy, and it was actually too long at 26 minutes. I would start with something under 10 minutes, maybe 5 or 6 minutes, because what happens at these film festivals, these horror film festivals, is they're looking for content, and they can get a bunch of 5-minute shorts in. So even if you're not the best thing in the world, you're going to start getting your name out there and stuff and start building ground. And if it's good, then maybe you go do another one, right? And then after you get 2 of those under your belt or something, or a little bit of steam, then you kind of know what to expect when you do something bigger.
Yeah.
But just start off small.
What, as far as film festivals and such, I know I've seen, was Texas Fright?
Texas Frightmare Weekend, yeah.
Was that where you premiered it?
That's where I premiered it. That's more of a horror convention.
Yeah.
But we had probably about 400 or 500 people in the screening both nights, and they usually don't do 2 nights, but standing room only both nights. And that's when the movie was 2:20, I think.
Yeah.
It was way longer. So some people on the early reviews said it was a little long.
Well, obviously, if they're standing room only, whenever you screened your second film, apparently you've hit the iron somewhere.
Well, yeah, but you got to think too, these dang screenings. So it was like just basically regular chairs, right?
Yeah.
A smaller screen, blow-up screen. So the image wasn't that good. The sound wasn't very good. Yeah. It's very scary, because this is your work up there and stuff like that. But Texas Frightmare Weekend to me is my home base, so to speak. It's Lloyd Cryer, the guy that does the event, is like a brother, and he takes care of Texas indie artists and stuff like that. And I'm forever grateful. Anytime I ever do anything, no matter how big I am, I'll make sure it goes to there first.
And when's that? It's in May, isn't it?
It's in May. I think usually the first weekend of May. And if you're big horror nerds and stuff, that's just the place to be. I sat at the bar and had beers with Tom Savini and stuff. And he was at a table with me. And it's just the people. Even like Robert Englund, I got to meet him before.
I've heard he's really nice.
Yeah, it's just people you'd never.
Freddy Krueger's a nice guy.
Roger Corman. Don Coscarelli did Bubba Hotep and Phantasm and stuff. He asked me to sit down and talk to me. Now, I mean, I don't know if they're just like me and just really nice, or they really care, or they just, if it's part of the thing. I don't know. Sometimes you wonder.
Is it hard to get into that thing? Is it crowded? Is it like
it's very,
crazy?
yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. Yeah. But what I noticed Sunday, there's not many people there, so that's really the best time to go on a Sunday. You can get some sit-down time with stars and celebrities and stuff.
See, I've been wanting to go to something. I like either a Comic-Con or something like that. Just to go. I mean, I've been to South by Southwest a few times. I want to go to one of those.
Well, I'd like to. I keep throwing the idea around about using the Bloody Bill name and doing something here, in Midland, Odessa area maybe. But I think it's a very positive place to go because when I went, I was in awe. I was a fanboy. Yeah. And this past year I didn't have time to get any autographs. The only autograph I got this past year was Ace Frehley. So, and got him to sign a Les Paul. But no, it was people coming to my table and wanting to talk to me. I mean, that was freaking awesome. I mean, that's what I do it for right there. If somebody likes your film, and we already got girls and little kids dressing up as characters, and the movie hadn't even come out. They're just seeing pictures and trailers and stuff, and people are getting so hyped up about it and stuff. So.
Well, congratulations, man. You've worked your butt off. You're getting there, and I see you going places because, like I said, your work ethic mainly. I mean, yeah, you're a go-getter. You're out to get it. So.
Well, I just wasted too much time. It's time to work. It's time to work.
I understand that.
You know what I mean? It's I'm not getting any younger, so it's time to work. So.
This has been a good interview for me. It really has. You're quite inspiring. I mean, I'm not trying to kiss your butt here too much, but you've been pretty inspirational.
That's right.
Okay, folks. Next week, I'm not sure what we're going to have. Comic-Con's going down this weekend.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. I was just in San Antonio. I couldn't go.
When? It's okay. I got to listen to his story. He listened to him.
Well, the Comic-Con, they'll be releasing a lot of cool trailers. That Mad Max trailer will be released.
Yeah. So we'll probably. I
dropped one the other day. Did you see it? It turned out to be a bootleg, so I deleted it.
They got me with it next week. The week after next, I won't be in next week. But the week after that, we'll probably be in here. We'll talk about all the Comic-Con stuff because there's gonna be a lot of that. I think.
Just where are you going out of town?
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Why?
Family and sanity. Anyway, so yeah, the week after next, probably we're doing Comic-Con. Unless next week, I don't know. If you got anything you want to.
I can try to do a pre-recorded.
Okay. You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere this week.
Right, cool. So. Well, anyway, Billy, where you want to plug websites, anything like that?
BloodyBill.com. I'd go for anything that I'm working on. Is usually there. Haunted houses, movies. Also, Facebook. You can Facebook search The Dead or Dollboy.
Okay. All right, James, plugs.
Checkbrain.com. Check Your Brain Productions on Facebook, and do all the stuff with the Film Society too. So
yep.
Facebook,
Big Spring Film Society, www.bigspringfilm.org. If you want to hear some more radio shows, go to Movies and Radio Podcast, and there's some stuff there.
And yes, there is a Transformers 4 review coming out someday.
That's right. It still has. It's okay.
Trying to work things out with the theater to film there.
Right.
So.
Well, and don't remember, folks. August 2nd, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade up on top of Scenic Mountain. We're going to be up there with the big screen. Fitzco out of Midland going to be up there with sound system, all that good stuff.
I know Milt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's who did your the Dollboy one.
Yeah.
When I came to that.
I bought my own stuff since then for the premieres and stuff.
You got your own screen and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I bought a pretty nice one. That's how we'll probably doing the Dollboy Circus of the Dead screen.
Cool. All right, folks. Billy, thank you so much.
Thanks for the invite. I
hope you enjoyed it.
Nice meeting all you guys for the first time.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too.
Fun.
And maybe we can.
I met you before, Brady.
I know. Well, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
But maybe we can do some. I really think we need to do that Dollboy review.
That'd be fun.
I think that'd be awesome.
First time me and Frank watched it, we were like, "What if we got the guy who directed this to do the review with us?"
Yeah, anytime you come to Odessa to film, man, I'm telling you, I'll hook you up with anything you need.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Maybe we can go there and check out the DEF CON this Halloween or something.
Come on out.
All right, folks, you've been listening to Movies on the Radio right here on KBYG AM and FM. We're going to kick it out with a little bit of Guns N' Roses with Sympathy for the Devil. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you in a week or two. Thanks.